Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and I am playing Overwatch right now because I felt like it. Um, Maybe you'll feel like watching this video on Soldier 76. I put a lot of work into the animation, so if you like it, please thumbs up. Now, I am playing Soldier 76 first, although most other people seem to play him last out of all the 21 heroes, because they don't really consider him a very Overwatchy character. I mean, he doesn't have any special abilities, he can't fly, he doesn't have a kawaii designate tank, he can't revive people, and his ass doesn't look good in tights. In fact, he is, super generic. All he can do is run and gun. He is that COD player, that Counter-Strike player, even that Battlefield player can get familiar with without having to learn new abilities. Just shift to sprint and left click to kill. In fact, he's so generic, even the name the devs gave him exudes a faceless fighter. One of many, but he's special to me. Why? Well, I think he makes a good attacker as well as a defender. Um, his pulse rifle puts down a ton of damage. He can move quickly when he has to, like when the scenery gets too hot. And he can also support his teammates with health, with the health orb that heals nearby characters. And that's what I do a lot of in Battlefield 3 and 4 anyway. I use the medpack non-stop. And as an attacker, this is super useful, I think, because he can heal players on the front line and keep them in the fight a bit longer. Now, what's Soldier 76's abilities and weapons like? Well, he has no passive ability, meaning nothing happens by itself, like D.Va injecting from a stricken Titan or something like that. His primary weapon or left mouse button is the heavy pulse rifle. Nothing special about that gun at all. It fires at a relatively fast rate from a magazine of 25 rounds, which take a second to reload. These don't do a lot of damage per bullet, but can do a critical hit provided you hit a soft spot like a head. This rifle is good for burst firing as well, especially at a distance when the spread becomes an issue, and at full auto because it increases the more that you keep the left mouse button down, especially if you want to be hitting them heads for a quicker kill right across the map. Now, his right click is what is known in the FPS circles as a noob tube, I would think. Well, not really a grenade launcher. The right click fires a salvo of 3 helix rockets, which fly in a straight line, but deal a nice chunk of damage provided they land. I find them especially useful to no-scope 360 fakey plays it, those pesky Widowmakers sniping from rooftops, though obviously any shot that lands is a good one. These one-shot kills are where the unguided rockets are super satisfying to me. Now, these 3 rockets all fire at once and have a cooldown of 8 seconds, so it's best not to fire them unless you are fairly certain that you can hit something. They can easily be dodged as they fly in a straight line, and depending on the distance, will take some time to hit home. A cheeky pricky use for this thing is if Pharah does her ultimate attack and freezes in the middle of the air to spam rockets at your team, and while she's not moving at all, she presents an all-too perfect target for the helix rockets. Obviously, enemy mercy is also a priority, seeing as how, she, no matter how much damage you deal to an enemy, if she's there, she will fix them right up. So, you'll get dead pretty quickly. Now, the rockets also have a 2-meter splash damage radius, where they will do some damage, but they also can do damage to yourself up to 40 hit points. Oh, and they can be used to rocket jump. Now, the shift ability is pretty straightforward. You can sprint while it's on, it's got no cooldown, lasts forever, and will stop once you use another ability or shoot. You can set up sprint to toggle on and off, in the main menu, or hold the shift button down like in most other FPS games. Now, Soldier 76's E ability is quite useful. It puts down a biotic field that dispenses health to you and your players around you within 5 meters for exactly 5 seconds, dispersing 40 hit points per second. Its cooldown time is 15 seconds, and in order for players to use it, they must have line of sight on it on the center pod, the health orb that you put down. It's very useful for keeping your attackers on the front line resupplied, as I said, with hit points. So throw these things down, whenever you can. Now we get to the fun stuff. Soldier 76's ultimate ability. Pressing Q activates a short 6-second tactical visor for you that auto-tracks enemies and aims your heavy pulse rifle towards them. You can actually see this thing working if you zoom in towards the gun in the middle of the screen during the ultimate, and it will actually shift from side to side, tracking enemies. Now what this means is that, well, none of your shots are homing. They're still dumb projectiles that they were before, but because of your high rate of fire, it will seem like they are homing towards the target, because the gun will track all targets for 6 seconds. Now this means that you can hold the left mouse button and you will hit the bad guys anyway. Now Helix rockets will also work in tactical visor, but they will not track after you fire them, so they can obviously easily be dodged. One good thing about this is that during the ultimate your reload times are cut in half, so you can spam it quite nicely if you have a few enemies in front of you, maybe because of a good flank. Now the bad thing is that the auto targeting doesn't do headshots or aim for weak points. That is, it doesn't let you do critical hits, so that means longer kill times. And speaking of kill times, it's important for you to recognize when you use this ability. Using it against a couple of weaker, faster enemies is fine, because they will not take a half hour of headshots to make a small scratch, and the auto targeting will track the faster enemies like Tracer. And I mean, what's the point of tracking slower enemies when you can just aim at them? Another suggestion I'd like to make is do not use the tactical visor on a single enemy or on bigger enemies like tanks, because they will take forever to kill and your ability is super short, and they're slow anyway, so auto tracking them is a moot point. Not to mention that you won't be getting any critical hits, which are so vital to bring these giants down. Also, because activating this ability takes a second, you'd be wise to activate it before you're surrounded by enemies, something like behind the corner or when flanking, and then step out into the light and let it rip. Let's see what else. Oh, Soldier 76 has these convenient ammo counters on the gun model itself, and like all heroes in Overwatch, he has an option in the main menu to toggle on and off. Soldier 76's option is to display or hide the teammates' health bars above their heads. Useful if you want to put down a few health orbs. So I hope you got a kick out of this video, and thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one, and remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.